Yeah, I watched the South Park Streaming Wars Part Two. So there was I had seen the first one a couple months ago, and then I only recently saw the second one. And the first one didn't do a ton for me. They did this whole analogy of like Colorado has a water supply problem, and Integrity Farm is taking up all this water, and blah blah blah. And it's like okay, but they turn it into like the boys end up putting these little boats down streams, and that's how they're able to measure where like the water supplies go, and they call it a streaming service. And then the boys have too many exclusive projects on too many streaming services because they like money too much. Is the joke? It's pretty funny. And for some reason, Randy becomes a Karen, which ends up being pretty hilarious. Like people just start calling him Karen as an insult, but then he like starts morphing into a Karen. Like they're like, we need somebody who will insist on being heard. Somebody who will ask to talk to their manager. But the second one got a lot funnier for me for a number of reasons. One, Man Bear Pig now has children. Girl Pig Bear and Chuck Chuck. They were like, isn't the boy going to grow up to be climate change one day? Like, shouldn't we do something about him? But for some reason, like midway through the episode, like Randy feels ashamed of himself, and spoilers, and he decides to like shut down the weed farm, and he like puts his old clothes back on, like the blue shirt, and he's like watching old clips of himself. He's like, I used to be a scientist. I used to be a geologist. And he goes back up to like where the little geology place was in the early seasons, and everybody's like, Randy, it's good to have you back. It happens like 3 times. He goes, hey Sharon, yeah. He goes, sorry about the whole weed thing. He just keeps saying it over and over. He goes, sorry about the whole weed thing. And he goes, I've put weed behind me. It ruined my character. I got really obsessed with it, and it ruined my whole character. So they make fun of Integrity Farms quite a bit. But yeah, and in the first episode, like through a series of comical events, Cartman was trying to like have his mom fuck somebody, I think. And so he gave her, he was trying to convince her to get fake tits, and then she wouldn't do it. So he was like, well, fine, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll get fake tits. And she was like, good, go ahead, do it. And in the first episode, he gets them. And it's just Cartman with his already little fat body with gigantic tits. Just so the whole episode is like, Butter, stop looking at my tits. Oh, and at some point he gets a gun, so he's just like walking around like waving a gun. He's got these giant titties. It's wild. And finally they the guy who has the water park, the PP, the guy who the whole water park is pee. He's like, he has this like water conservation evil plot where he's like, we're gonna change all the water out with piss. And he's like, yeah, and I'm going to get A-list celebrities to tell everybody to drink piss. I'm going to get these shills. I'm going to get the same people who told you to buy crypto to tell you to drink piss. So like it starts with Matt Damon. He's like, fortune favors the brave. And he keeps like trying to drink piss. And he's like, this is like these long scenes of Matt Damon going, oh. And then like later on they have this scene where like they have like Reese Witherspoon and Larry David and Matt Damon. They're all in like a pool of piss together. And he's like directing the commercial. Like, come on, drink that piss, you shills, just like you tried to sell crypto.
That's funny.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and I had a crypto joke in my NES video.
Yeah, fortune favors the brave.
It's like if I was playing Metroid Prime and suddenly Matt Damon appeared, and I'm not talking about a character played by Matt Damon. I'm talking about it's literally Matt Damon, and he's trying to sell me crypto.
Fortune favors the brave.
It is bizarre, that whole I remember because I'd go to the movies and I'd see that commercial and be like, what are they selling? And then all of a sudden it ends with crypto. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, there's like a lot of cognitive dissonance because you're just like, I just didn't expect somebody of his caliber to like go out on a limb. The PP guy is like, you love money, huh? You love money. Drink the piss.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.